Alright, hello world. Welcome to another thoughtfully stimulating episode of Every Last Record, a music club for the purposeful music listener. I'm your host, Noel, and with me today we have Matt.
What's going on, guys? Matt, aka Zeus, creator, artist, all that. What's going on, guys?
Paris.
It's your boy Paris Haven, creator, fashion, content creator, weatherman, and overall lover of music.
Leo. No shit, Leo's not here. Joelle.
What's good? I'm Joelle. I am human, and I'm also a dancer.
Flo.
What up?
Yo, what's good? This is Flo, and everything music related is related to me.
Yeah. And Harley.
What's up, y'all? My name is Harley. I'm just here to hang out with my friends, talk about music, and enjoy some good times.
Amen. And so
Oh, yeah.
today, Joelle will be leading the discussion on Justified
By Justin Timberlake.
Ooh.
Wait, Joelle.
Joelle, please take it away.
Wait, that intro? That was some real shit. Like,
Thank you for
that was
seeing
some real
me,
shit,
Paris.
man. That's one of my favorite songs.
I love that song. I've been listening to it on my runs all week, so
That's fine.
I am human and dancer.
Song is
I
vital.
I
have
just got that. I'm sorry. Continue.
I love that you're all just getting it. A fun icebreaker. I love that this album, you know, Justin Timberlake trying to do what he's trying to do at this point in time, 2002, right? So, like, have you ever outgrown a version of yourself that other people still expected you to be? And if that's too deep of a question and you really don't want to go into that, you can also share if you could reintroduce yourself as a song, just one song, what would it be? Of course, in the nature of how I introduce myself, my comeback song would be like Human by The Killers. I love The Killers. Human is such a good song. I feel like everybody
Amazing
loves
song.
it. Are we human or are we dancer?
That's the
And
question.
we are both, and we are everything and we are nothing, and I love that because that is so in the vein of like this whole like if you could reintroduce yourself to the world with one, if you could like outgrow a version of yourself and then come back as this other thing, like how does that fit in? I feel like I've done that so many different times in my life, and people are always going to expect the version of you that they're comfortable with, because everybody that you've had a relationship with, the reason that you have a relationship with them is because something inside of you and something inside of them is reflecting and mirroring each other. There's a similarity. So when parts of you start to shift and change and it no longer holds that old part that those people used to with you, I think it can be, they grieve that with you. It's because they've like lost something. So sometimes you're like, no, actually, I don't feel that way anymore. I don't think that anymore. I don't want to do those things anymore. And people around you are a little bit like confused, angry. I think it's because they're going through that grieving process of like losing a part of you that they used to relate with. And so all of that to say is that sometimes outgrowing certain versions of yourself also means outgrowing certain people, also means outgrowing certain music, which has happened a lot to me. Certain artists, albums, songs that I used to love that I no longer vibrate with anymore. I think one of those artists, I can name so many off the top of my head, but The Weeknd is one of those artists for me. I know The Weeknd. I think it's because of the way that I connected with The Weeknd. It was
That makes
really
sense. That makes sense.
Some people have a different relationship with The Weeknd, but the way that I connected with The Weeknd was such deep, traumatic teenage angst. It was drug-induced. It was like gross. It was not a good look, And I no longer am that person, so I no longer relate with the version of myself that loved The Weeknd. Although I can say those first tapes from The Weeknd I really love, and I'll never stop loving because they're just, chef's kiss. But yeah, like
Y'all feel it?
you feel me?
You got a style boy? Let's go.
We're leveling up, guys.
Yeah, so that's me. That's my little take on that. I have definitely outgrown versions of myself.
Yeah, I could go. I have multiple different kinds of like versions of me, but I think that the primary evolution I had was probably around the time I was 17 to 18. A lot of people don't really like know me that well outside of Harley from before then, but I was a very different dude. I had like an afro. I was like kind of fat. I was a little more like quiet and stuff. I just had not the same personality. I still made jokes and all that, but just like very different personality and like a lot less like confidence and everything. I didn't really care about fashion, the way I dress, everything like that. I was just like a regular, nerd motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And like, literally, it's gonna sound ridiculous. Like when I was 17, I made a Tumblr, and like for some reason or another, like I popped off on Tumblr. I don't know why. I wasn't like a fly dude. I wasn't like, but like it kind of gave me the confidence, and I was like, oh man, people on Tumblr, doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? People like dressing nice and stuff like that. I got like, you know what I'm saying, like show out. So I started to like care more about my appearance. I started to like get like regular haircuts and shit. Because I was a little scruffy and woofy and all that. I started to like, just like wear better, like present myself better, be more confident, be more outspoken and everything. That's around the time I started to get more attraction from like actual like girls and stuff too and everything, quite honestly. And like I started to like just like, take that into account. And so like it gave me a lot of confidence. And then by the time I came into college, I was like a completely different like kind of person. And that's kind of the person that people kind of know me for. And I've changed a lot, since like college, of course. But like the modern day iteration of me just like changed because like for the first time I kind of saw people really like give me a confidence boost and give me love and make me like, something that I am now. Because like I always think I'm just like, there's a version of me that's like in my mom's crib playing video games, watching anime all day. You know what I'm saying? Like 300 pounds. Like that's the track I was going on everything. That's the track I was going on. So it's gonna sound ridiculous, but thank you for Tumblr, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if I have a comeback song, but I just remember like my like wake up and like do better for myself song was Pyramids by Frank Ocean. Cause like I was like, that's the first time I heard something and I was like, man, I gotta be like mature and like artsy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or like, I remember the night that song came out and I was like, nah, I have to like level up. I gotta do it for Frank.
That's so beautiful.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Frank.
I'll go next. It's funny because I feel like sometimes when I talk to people, like people who really know me, they would never guess it, but I'm actually quite like introverted, and I thrive being in my own space, my own atmosphere, around, I feel good around the people who are close to me and the people who, I already like have close relationship with. Like it's hard for me to meet new people and to lock in with them. So I keep my circle small. But that was something that I had to navigate in multiple areas of my life because I was like holding myself back, because I wasn't trying to build relationships with people I should have been building relationships with, whether it be like for opportunities or work or whatever the case may be. I realized that it was something that I had to work on, and it was a part of me like since I was young. Like I would just isolate myself in certain moments and just be locked in by myself and just chill, and that was my peace, and I got used to that and I got comfortable in that, and I wouldn't let everybody into my space. But as I grew up and got older and started to learn more about myself, I gained more confidence in who I was and the life that I was trying to lead and navigate, and being smarter about the people that I kept around me and the decisions that I was making. So I wouldn't call myself an extrovert now. I still think I'm more introverted, but maybe, it depends on who I'm around. Like if I'm around y'all, like I'm like, whatever, I'm in my element and I'm good. But if it's like, for example, general admission concerts, used to do those all the time, can't do it no more. Hate being around that many people. Yeah. I'm like, and there's nowhere to sit. I'm
That's
not
so real. That's
some
so
real
real.
shit.
I feel
like,
that.
yo,
Bro.
it's just random people just packed
What
in.
about
close to-
festival?
Festivals, I haven't been to a festival since Made in America, what was it, 2018, where
Oh,
we
yeah.
We stopped going. We used to go every like for 3 years straight.
He went to the ones we were at though.
Really?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
It was Rihanna and Coldplay.
Yeah,
they were
that was the best
Yeah.
one. That was the best
Yeah,
one.
we was there.
Nah, it was fire, but it was just
Yeah.
like also I think back on it now and I'm just like I would never do that again.
I'm
Nah,
with
But
you.
I'm glad that I enjoyed the one that I did though. I had a great
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But again, like it's just I'm still like it's still something that I'm working on. Because I have to especially for us building our brand now, you have to network and you have to, put yourself out there, things like that. And especially the way social media works now, where you gotta like that's why I respect Paris, where he does so much. You got to be in front of a camera and you got to be consistent with content and stuff like that. Like that's not for someone like me. That's not easy. That's not easy. I'm barely ever like putting myself in my social media, but it's something that I'm working on. So I guess my confidence building song or whatever for me, one that stands out is probably "Can't Tell Me Nothing" by Kanye West off Graduation.
Period.
elite
That was
pick.
that was one that like when I was starting to like figure out who I was, like I would play that my CD player. Aging myself here, but I had a
Okay,
CD.
Unc.
Yeah, before I had that on an iPod or whatever, an iPod. Yeah, I had it on a CD.
Nah, listen, that graduation book, packaging was elite. So you got the sunglasses and shit.
Yup.
And you kids and your Nintendos
Hey, I
and
had
your
a
Walkman.
like CD player that I used to clip on my hip, like fourth grade. So
I used to have that thing on me. That's how when I first was the college dropout. My first time I had a CD player.
Remember when our pants were big enough that the CD player fit in
Yes.
the pocket?
Yes.
It's coming back. It's
Yeah.
coming back.
those pants are back for
Yeah.
They're
sure.
back.
Yeah, giant pants are back.
So since Adam, you brought me up, I guess it's fitting I should go for
Since
that.
you called him out.
Also, I kind of relate to that a lot. Shit. I kind of relate to that a lot because, and I'm gonna try to break this down very fast because this topic is very emotional to me. So shout out to Joelle. I feel like we're in sync with this one. But no, when I was younger, like again, I really didn't have a stable friend group per se. Like I wasn't really somebody that played sports and none of that shit. Like so, I wasn't really typical like out here doing whatever until like maybe senior year, like my high school, when I started to branch out. Cause like Adam, I didn't really like being around people I didn't know because I just felt like everything's transactional and people really just wanted to hang out with you for a specific reason. I felt like I didn't have anything to offer. So I kept all the stuff that I loved to myself, like my Tumblr account, fashion that I like, because I remember like again wearing certain clothes and then like it not being popular at the time. I get my ass cut, and then like next year it's popular, and then it's like all right, but because I was like the skinny jeans and shit. But I wore them shits and the motherfuckers called me the F word. And I was like, alright, bet. I ain't wearing these ever again. And then next year they had the skinny jeans. And I was like, damn, son. Alright. So I felt like I conformed to like mold myself to be like other people until like my senior year of school. Like when I could relate to what Matt's saying, like Tumblr, seeing all these kids like out here, specifically in New York City, like at Fashion Night Out and like all that shit kind of inspired me to like stop trying to be something I'm not. Like I could be this like artistic hipster kid and like I could still like the shit that I like and not have to feel like I have to mold myself to a certain specific like type of person. So Tumblr and like Future, ASAP Mob and all those guys were like my answer to that, like Kanye. So I feel like I molded my personality and my art choices based on that stuff I was consuming. And honestly, I credit these guys for that metamorphosis because if I never met these guys, like they were like my first like real like core friend group, and you know hanging out with them, doing the times we had and shit that really helped me grow as a person. So I feel like I became a little bit more extroverted being in this group. So I always credit them with like really helping me find myself. If we're talking about even more metamorphosis, I'd honestly say the recent one is like now, and it's like I feel like I'm in this body where I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know why, whatever, but I feel like I'm in this body now. I'm like, shit, I don't feel comfortable in it because it's not who I feel like I am right now. So I feel like there's a level of uncomfort or there's like a level of just like not feeling like I am in control because I know I deserve better than I am right now. So
That awareness is so beautiful. I'm so proud of
it's frustrating as fuck though
Yes,
because
that's
it's
a part
like
of it.
I wake up and I'm like, bro, this ain't it no more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I see where I need to be and where I will be, but
Yeah.
it's just putting in the work. So right now, the person you see right now is not who I believe I should be. And I feel like every day within these past couple of weeks or like months, I've been struggling with that because I'm like, nah, I need to, all this ain't it no more. So like I have a vision for myself where now I'm like, I'm gonna be like where I need to be, where I've always dreamed, being fit, making the amount of money that I want, doing the creative shit that I've always wanted to do, and also just staying intact with you guys and like my family, like being a better family member, like a brother, like nephew, and even a partner. You know what I mean? So like all these things, I know I could do better, and I will do better. But right now where I'm at, I don't feel comfortable with that because I know I deserve to be in a better position. So now I feel like to answer that question, I'm in the current like metamorphosis, if you say, mentally, but physically and like all that, I have to catch up to that. So
You're in a chrysalis stage, but everything that you did and everything you've experienced, you needed to do. You needed to be who you've been in order to be who you will be. Like, and like you're an incredible human being. Like, this is a good group. We radiate a lot of great energy. Know that you are always a reflection of all the great people around you that you love. Like, you are that always. So
real shit. Now
good for you.
if I had a song, shit. I feel like Adam had the best one because that's a real ass song.
Nobody's picking public announcement.
It's a fire. That's a fire.
That's a fire one. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, you have to come back to me on that one because there's probably tons that I'm not thinking of right now. But
Tell us at the end.
yeah.
Yeah, so damn, Paris. I hear you, and I respect you for saying that and being vulnerable, especially in this environment. I kind of resonate with a little bit of everything you guys all said. For me, the way I take a look at it, or I envision myself as, my biggest fear personally is stagnation. So I feel like I always want there to be a new version of myself. There's been many different like eras and phases, but I feel like I want to continue to grow, be that like professionally or, as a friend, as a person. And I lose track of it every now and then, but I try to come back in it. And I think this year is a big like comeback year. Like I've been talking about it. Well, I haven't seen you guys all year, but I've been talking about it a little bit more frequently. As I want to be more intentional this year with like my friendships and stuff. I feel like last year I kind of took a back seat, and I would just show up to things, but not really initiate things. So I feel like that's kind of the version of myself that I currently am at. Is I want to be more present, more intentional, move with a plan, so to speak. Even though I don't know what the plan is, but I'll figure it out. Yeah, there's been many, many stages of my life, and like Adam said, I consider myself an introvert too, although that might not make sense to a lot of people because, I have an extroverted career and I have a ton of friends.
Trust me, I relate to that.
Facts.
And like I'm always kind of around people, but I feel my most comfortable when I'm in my safe space. But the thing is, you don't grow if you're in that safe space. If something doesn't challenge you, it's not going to change you. That's what I've been learning. I've been following this like new like personal training thing, and it's been hard, but it's been rewarding, and I kind of want to stick to it. A song that always gets me hyped. I forgot what the initial question for the song was, but
The question for the song is like if you were reintroducing yourself as a song, like this new version of you, what would it be? So it could be your hype song too.
yeah, I'm gonna pick Cudi's Own by Kid Cudi.
Real.
I'm a big Kid Cudi fan, always have been, and that's a song that always gets me hyped, and I feel like it's a good introduction. Like, that's what I want to be. I want to be in my zone.
Harley's Zone.
Harley's Zone. Hell yeah.
Man, that was a beautiful icebreaker. I see how it relates to Justified too. So I think that was a pretty genius question.
Thank you. You thought I was out here not prepared and shit, but
Cause you've been all mysterious and shit. You was like, I got my own agenda. I was like, all right.
Paris, do you want to share a song, or you feel like it's?
Count me out.
I was gonna say, count me out for like a good.
I was saying
yeah.
count me out.
Yeah,
And yo, I cry. I be crying, bro, because that shit, like that shit really. He's
I
spitting
too be
some real
crying.
shit, bro. And especially like right before like the chorus come on. If I can learn to thank myself 100 times, like I'm getting that tattooed on my forearm, like that line right there. So yes, count me out is mine first.
That shirt that Matt has is insane. I love that T-shirt.
I appreciate it. You know, it's funny. My current song that's like I look in the mirror and that kind of got me through last year to get to my point where I'm at right now, where luckily we're in this building and stuff, was Man at the Garden.
Yeah.
I tell you right now, literally, like, it's gonna sound corny. I recite that shit in the mirror almost every day. Like, yo, you deserve it all.
Beautiful.
And like, hey man, we here. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can always do more for yourself.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, shit. So let's jump right in. The album this week is Justified by Justin Timberlake. It's his first solo album after NSYNC. It released November 5th, 2002 on the Jive Records label. Justin Randall Timberlake. Right?
His real name was Randall.
Brother, he used to go by Justin Randall in his Mickey Mouse Clubhouse days.
Oh, I had no idea.
With Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, so you know he's a child star.
What is his last name?
Ryan Gosling too.
Ryan Gosling.
Yes, and Ryan Gosling, and there's a couple other folks I think
You
too.
still know.
I think this is where he met his girlfriend, you know, Britney Spears. The same one who would later go on to cheat on him with another Mouseketeer.
Wait, who?
Yeah.
She cheated on him with some other guy that was a Mouseketeer as well. I don't know who that man was. He wasn't Justin Timberlake, I'll tell you that. He won.
Lance Bass was also.
And he also wrote Cry Me a River about it, so...
I thought it was gonna be some like T, like it was like some, like it was Lance Bass or some shit like that. I would have been like, oh shit, another NSYNC member.
I got a rebuttal about that, by the way, but we'll get into the album for that.
So this album came out in 2002, November 5th. This was Justin Timberlake's first solo album after being a part of the boy band NSYNC. You know, he was in this boy band around the time of like the industrialized pop music era where like everybody was 14, 15, 16 and young and singing and choreographed fucking like everything was just so Radio Disney. Like Disney had the pop scene on fucking lock. And this was definitely off the heels of like, I'm going to say very segregated music channels as well, where you're not really getting R&B artists on certain music. I mean, like MTV was definitely not playing R&B or anything that wasn't alternative rock. I think we talked about that, right? Here in this space.
By this era, they started to play a little bit more like R&B and pop.
Around this time they were.
Yeah.
But this was just right before like the era where they were not really playing those things on TV. So, but you have artists like Justin Timberlake, who were part of that pop scene that was accepted in every station, right? Now starting to venture into this genre that was not played on every station. And this is where some of that mixing and matching is happening. And I feel like it's very interesting because obviously this is an R&B album produced and written by Black and brown people as well as Justin Timberlake and other white producers and artists. But it's on the heels of Black and brown music, right? And so I just think that's super fascinating. And so you have this, like vocalist who wanted to be taken serious, wanted to stop being associated with Disney and with youth, and wanted to step into like his manhood and his solo career, and was very keen on a lot of his music being R&B, which I think is quite fascinating. And I personally really enjoyed this album. I had a really hard time getting into this album the first like week that we were listening to it. I feel like I was really bored. after a while.
But it was your album.
I know, isn't that hilarious? It is my
And
album
you're like, who
choice.
picked this?
And even if I did eventually hit a flow state where I was like, okay, I get it. A very good flow state with the album. And I was like, okay, like I'm back, and I really started enjoying some of like the B side of this album. Like I really like songs like Take It From Here, Nothing Else, right? Those songs still on my brain. They like really started to groove and come in a good way. Yeah, so I guess I could ask folks about first impressions of the album, what their first thoughts were.
Oh, I can go first because I've been dying to say this whole time. I got so tired of this album in the first week.
Harley, I love you! Are we the same person?
We normally do, just for everybody listening, we normally do every 2 weeks we do a new album, but this came around the holidays, so we took a 3-week hiatus. So we had an extra week to sit with this, and like, man, I was dying to get into other music. So I eventually did. I took a week break.
Timberlake enough.
All that to say, I did enjoy it at first, right? I had obviously heard, the big hits, Cry Me a River, all those things. And those are like, they stand alone like classics, right?
Right.
I thought this album was very front heavy or front loaded for me when I first heard it. Like, it took me a while to get to the second half of the album.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, we are in sync. Wow. Because I feel the same way, but I'll get to mine.
That was crazy.
I will also. Sorry, I just want to say to Harley, because you're saying something that's really, obviously we all feel. I think also what's really hard to do is experience this album in 2026, and try to listen to it as this album, this unit, and not think about it in the context of how the singles have literally shaped our life. Like this is the music that we all grew up with childhood wise, so it's really hard to hear this album and not think about this album as literally just containing Cry Me a River, Like I Love You, and like it's really hard to do that, so I get it.
Agreed, and it definitely gets some grace for that too. Like the way albums put out has kind of changed in the last 20 years, something years. But yeah, that's my first impression. I don't know if
Wait, I have a question. You guys said it's boring. Like, what do you guys mean by boring? Like, was it you couldn't get into like some of the B-sides, or is like at this point you're tired of like hearing the hit singles because they're played virtually everywhere nowadays?
I mean, I could kind of go into my. Are you still doing your first impressions a little bit? Because
Joelle, I wanted to specifically ask her because she said that I never really understood where she was coming from.
I think for me, I'm really spoiled by the way that artists make albums now. His intention when he was creating this album is very evident, that he was just like, I'm entering this new sound for me. And not only am I entering this new sound, but I'm also being produced by the Neptunes, right? Where like in that, when they were making this album and when it came out, I'm sure it was like some next shit, right? Like this, I'm already spoiled by the sound. I'm already listening to the artists that have been inspired by this sound, and have created their entire careers and crafts based off of the Neptunes and Justin Timberlake and Earth, Wind, and Fire, who Justin Timberlake was also inspired by, Michael Jackson, all these people. So like, it's just, I'm spoiled, and it's hard to listen to these really simple melodies on like really great beats. It was just really hard.
Okay, that makes sense. That's a good point.
Yeah, I was actually gonna. Well, before I get my first impressions, I also want to because I think I have some information that's probably gonna. Because for those of you who did not know, last year, like randomly, this is not planned, I was like just chilling one day and I went through like a kind of a Justin Timberlake deep dive for whatever reason. I think I was just lit one day and like I think like I forgot what song, because Future Sex Love Sound is one of my favorite albums of the 2000s. I'm obsessed with that album. I think that album is way ahead of its time. I would have loved to talk about that album all day. But I went back and heard Justified again, and I went back and forth between the both last year, and so like this album is still fresh in my head. a little bit. So I kind of did some digging last year because I like to dig into albums like I listen to and everything. And I think the reason why it may sound a little bit like boring, quote unquote, is because he kind of recorded this within like a 6-week period.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
Because what he tried to do, he tried to recreate back in like the 70s and 80s. People used to do like kind of like jam sessions. Because it wasn't like all the synthesizer technology and everything. Things had to be done in takes and stuff like that. So it's like you needed like certain equipment. So people would just get together, just jam out, and make songs on the spot. And so it wasn't like too much of I'm gonna go and create a concept album and I'm gonna sequence this to go into this. It wasn't like that thought out. Honestly, until around the time Michael Jackson started to really put that much into like album creation and stuff, it wasn't like a common practice to do that. So Justin tried to capture that in the early 2000s. I think the thing is, and granted, it's a very critically successful album. The album went on to do it's like diamond and shit.
Won a bunch of Grammys.
Yeah,
Platinum, all that stuff.
It's like a diamond certified album. It's one of the best albums. It's one of the best selling albums of the 21st century. So he did something right in terms of like commercially. But to Joel's point, you can especially with the modern day mature eye, you can tell what he's trying to go for. Like I'm gonna put the hits here. I'm gonna try to make it a little more mature. I'm gonna do my thing here. This one's for the ladies and that's a lot how the 2000s albums were. 2000s albums sound very 2000s. It wasn't until like the 2010s where that album kind of came back. People I'm gonna sit down and make a concept where this song tells a story and go into this song. Back in 2000s, it was like your favorite rappers would be like, yeah, man, this one's for the streets, this one's for the homies, this one's for the club, this one's for the ladies, and you just throw everything out there and stuff. Kind of the way Drake makes albums now and stuff. It's like you're making something a little bit for everybody because you're trying to market yourself. You're not trying to put yourself into one little pigeonhole. So that's what he tried to do. I think the thing is that he executed that better in later albums, especially Future Sex Love Sounds, which he took 4 years to make. This one was more like 6 weeks. I'm gonna bang it out. Whatever comes out, comes out. And so you have some great hits out of that. But you also have some steam gets lost a little bit where there could be some songs that are a little more built out, which is kind of the way I saw it.
For sure.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. But in terms of my impressions, I felt the same exact way you felt when I heard it last year, when I revisited this time, because I wanted to see if I got anything new out of it. But I felt the same way last year. I was the first 5, 6 songs are okay, he's doing something. Okay, I see where you're going. And then after Rock Your Body, which is my favorite song of the album. That's one of my favorite songs of the 2000s. I love Rock Your Body.
So good.
After that, it kind of loses steam massively because a lot of the songs are kind of reiterative of earlier songs on the album. So it's kind of this song is just sounds exactly like Rock My Body. This song sounds exactly like Senorita. This song sounds exactly so it kind of gets a little more redundant, and then it ends like a piano ballad. It comes out of nowhere. So it's kind of
Brian McKnight ballad,
yeah,
specific. So I feel he was just I gotta make sure I cover all of my R&B houses.
That's what he's trying to do. Cover all his bases.
Brian, and it really, they could have done better, but
It kind of didn't fit.
Future Sex Love Sounds him I'm gonna go make a good album. I'm gonna go out here. And he was way ahead of the curve with the beat transitions on almost every song. That was not a normal thing in 2000s, especially for a 7-minute long single. Which is what goes around and the second half goes into same with Love Stoned into I Think That She Knows. Those aren't, that's weird for your
what goes around is part 2 to Crimea River, which I just found out yesterday.
Yes.
Listening to it.
Yeah, but the second half is crazy. But I think what this album does is that it establishes his talents really well. You could tell he could do a little bit of everything. He doesn't do it well, but I could kind of he's trying to show what he's capable of outside of NSYNC. I think that he did a good job.
I would like to know also, Paris, what your first impressions were. I don't think you shared. And then I can do also a little bit of backstory about, how the album was produced, and we can go into some of our favorite songs.
And Adam got to share, too.
Sorry. Yes, Adam. Sorry.
So, okay. I hear what all of y'all are saying. However, I fucking love this album. I'm the B-sides to me are better than the hit songs. Songs like Oh No, What You Got, Take It From Here. To me, as a Stevie Wonder, am I good? Hold on. As a Stevie Wonder, fan, hearing those chord progressions, I think that even for that time, it still sounds fucking fresh to me. I think the hits, Rock Your Body, honestly, I can see getting bored of those because those sound just your typical, for example, I told you guys a couple weeks ago, the beats here, and this is why I love the album mainly, because the beats were honestly constructed around In Search Of era. So they kind of sound like In Search Of leftovers. And that's because they were actually meant for Michael Jackson's Invincible album.
Yep.
But basically, what happened was that his Michael Jackson one. It said that Michael Jackson wanted more beats that sounded like Super Thug, and not like typical pop music. Like he didn't want any of this like bubblegum pop music at all. Like he wanted some like thug shit. But then his agent
wanted some thug shit.
like he's like, where's it? He actually said like, I want that Super Thug shit. I want this shit. But his team also turned them down because they didn't want to work with the Neptunes because they felt like they didn't want to put that gamble at the time. That just goes to show like how like not out there the Neptunes were at the time. So instead he decided to work with Dark Child, like Rodney Jerkins, all those people. And unfortunately, the other people I'm not going to mention, but yeah. So they pivoted and they used all these beats for Justin Timberlake. So. My first impressions, honestly, like I had never really listened to this album in full until like maybe like a couple of years ago. And honestly, this session was mainly what made me lock in and take it seriously. Because like Matt said and everybody said, Future Sex Love Sounds is a different beast. Where these guys literally went to Europe to discover why dance music hits so well out there, and they replicated that same feeling with that album. And you can tell that they really like. The intentions were a little bit higher than this one. But no, song when I heard again Like I Love You, that's like classic Clips feature. It was dope that they were on there. So my first impressions of it were I came out liking the B-sides more than the A-sides. I felt like the songs are always going to be classic, but I got something new out of the album actually listening to like the deeper cuts. I like the more R&B sounding projects more than the poppy over the top singles. So except for Cry Me a River, that's obviously a gem, but B-sides were hitting a lot harder.
Oh, yeah. All right, Flo, you want to share your first impressions?
Yeah, real quick. I actually recently listened to his discography too. Actually, the first 3 albums: Justified, Future Sex, and 2020.
Both parts.
So this album is definitely one that I like a lot as well. The hits hit for me. Not all, but some of the B-sides also hit for me. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely for me. This was an easy listen. There wasn't a point where I necessarily felt bored or didn't enjoy my experience. And it was, I mean, I wasn't listening to it like all day, every day during our time because again, I recently listened to it. But when I did pick it up, it was just, it's always vibes, and the songs that I love stay stuck in my head. And I keep some songs from this album in my like regular rotation. So there's songs that I hear often, like I Love You and Senorita and stuff like that. So I hear them pretty often.
Well,
So
I meant to ask him, did you hear both sides of 2020 Vision or just like the first part?
The first side is way better in my opinion, but that's
Way
for
better. Yeah, the second side is not my cup of tea. I haven't heard it in like
There's
10
a couple
years.
joints on there in my opinion, but the first one is just, it's not even close.
Yeah, I think I should have been one album.
I'll say my take on something at the end of the episode, though.
Yeah, we'll save that for another time. Tonight,
Joel, you got some more heat about some of the recording.
Yeah, just to preface, I always want to treat our episodes like nobody knows anything about the album, and just say like, obviously this album was produced mainly by Pharrell Williams and Chad Hugo of the Neptunes. I think out of 13 tracks, they produced 7. And then you have Timbaland that produced some of the tracks, or one of the tracks. And
Like 2, I think.
Was it 2?
Yeah.
Scott Storch too. Can't forget about him.
And you also have the final song, Never Again, that was written and produced by Justin Timberlake and Brian McKnight. Obviously, it's like a traditional R&B ballad of sorts. Very, very typical. So, and I thought that we talked about this, but it was a very interesting choice for him to make sure that he has a song like that on there. You kind of hear Pharrell Williams opening the album, introducing Justin Timberlake. I feel like that intentionality where he's reintroducing Justin Timberlake, like not as a part of NSYNC, not as the Mouseketeer, but instead like the solo artist venturing into R&B. This album is within the genre of R&B, which is a genre that most artists that were singing at the time, this was always the genre they were singing in. But then you have artists like Justin Timberlake, like Pink, like Justin Bieber today, where this was like their rebellious genre. Where coming into this genre was them kind of like going against the grain of what was expected of them as a white pop artist who were making like lots of money, definitely charting high on the billboards. NSYNC was going crazy on the billboards, and were like mega pop stars. And so for Justin Timberlake to leave all of that behind and kind of like venture alone and go into the genre of R&B was a risk in a way. And it was something that he decided to do, which I think was super cool. This album was filmed. This album was recorded in Virginia Beach, like at Pharrell and Chad Hugo's studio, the Star Trek studio, which I think was really funny. There's like a documentary that Justin Timberlake's friend recorded while he was doing this, recording this album. And there's like footage of Justin Timberlake on the plane saying, could be going to Miami or California to record this album, but I'm going to Virginia Beach where there's nothing. And I was just like, well, I wonder how that would go over today. I thought that was kind of funny, but yeah, it is kind of interesting. You're like recording your first solo album. People are usually going somewhere to be inspired by the energy that they're like putting in their album. And I feel like while Justin was like, what the fuck am I about to go to Virginia Beach to record this album for? Like, that's because he was actually going to fucking work. Like, you're not about to be chilling. Like partying by night and recording by day. Like, you're actually locking the fuck in. It sounded like boot camp to me. And Justin Timberlake being like this big pop artist, sounded like necessary boot camp. If you watch that documentary, you hear not to say that Justin Timberlake is a student of his own. He shared how he listened to a lot of Earth, Wind, Fire, like Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, before he recorded this album. But you hear Pharrell like coaching Justin Timberlake through vocal inflections that actually take away from the pop vocal inflections, how you would usually sing a song if you were a pop artist. And Pharrell was like guiding him on how to sing the song like an R&B artist. It wasn't spoken in that way, but when you listen to that Pharrell's corrections and notes on how to sing the songs, you hear Pharrell giving him that influence about how to do a riff so that it actually does fit the sound of R&B more, which I thought was super dope. And yeah, so I want to know, what were your standout tracks, the songs that you love the most, and if there's any personal connection that you have with them, maybe share that.
All right, real quick. Take it from here, like, bro, them chords, man. Like I always say that, but like that sounds like some prime Stevie Wonder, like just type of song, bro. Like, and then also the Oh No, the song by Timbaland, like this third track, that shit knocks too. It's like. I wish that was a single, bro. Like that.
I wrote that down in my notes. That should have been a single.
Been a single to me over Rock Your Body personally. But yeah, bro.
Which one?
It's Oh No. Yeah, that's that.
I gotta be over.
Come on, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like Rock Your Body. I just have nostalgic ties to, but like that shit don't do it for me in 2026, bro.
No, I think this album could have been 12 songs. Like, Right For Me should just never have been just no.
You said the last song shouldn't have been on there.
Not right for me.
Like for me.
Oh, I agree. I don't like that, and I don't like. And she said, like, I don't like those songs.
I don't like most of the songs. I don't think I like any song off Rock Your Body. I'm not gonna lie. That's gonna sound
You
mad.
don't like
harsh.
Last Night? Nah, you gotta listen to Last Night again, bro.
Yeah, bro. I don't like
listen to
nothing.
nothing
I
else
got.
again, bro.
I ran them back like 4 or 5 times.
Get back to the song that you
Yeah.
What songs do you like?
The ones I just said, like Nothing Else, Last Night. Come on, man. Like those songs are some gorgeous ass R&B songs. And like you did say the Earth, Wind and Fire influence and the Michael Jackson influence. Like I get like late 70s, early 80s vibes from those songs. I think he nailed it. I think him and Pharrell nailed that sound. I think that the intention of setting Justin Bieber up as this like R&B like bad boy did work. I think with Pharrell and like Timberlake.
He said Justin Bieber.
Sorry, I said Justin Bieber. Justin Timberlake.
But also, yes, we get it.
You know
There's
what
a
I mean?
parallel. There is a parallel.
Yeah, there is a parallel. It's the same shit. It's the same formula. We've seen it time and time again. I just think Justin Timberlake was done the best. Like, as you mentioned Pink, I hate Pink. And Justin Bieber, like, Journals was great, but
Christina Aguilera did it, you know.
yeah, it's like that. Like around that time, like they was doing that. I mean, it used to be Blue Eyed Soul back in the '80s, right? So
The only one who held down the pop sound was Britney, and we saw.
yes, I agree. But that's why "Cry Me a River" I love that song, by the way. But it's kind of hypocritical for him to get mad at her for cheating one time when he did it like multiple times. So like I think this song is kind of toxic.
Real nigga shit.
It is like
Try to go cheat for cheat.
and he
Real
has her,
nigga shit.
and I love that song, by the way. It's one of my favorite songs of the album, but it's kind of toxic and hypocritical. And he's just like overreacting to one time, like she cheated.
Just one time, babe.
When he was a kid.
But she did cheat with like
A
their
choreographer. Yeah. I know that one, but like.
Should cheat on somebody better.
People.
If you're gonna cheat, like no.
This man was out here like doing some crazy shit. Like it is a whole lore about this album, like and with Britney and Justin. But it's important because a lot of the songs reflect that. But all that to say, my favorite songs are like "I Love You" because "Come On" the Clips, "What You Got," "Take It From Here," and me personally, I love the song "Last Night" a lot.
Okay, word. Anybody else want to share theirs, or I can do mine?
I kind of have to agree with Paris on a lot of those. For me, Senorita works as a hook. Like, it just grabs my attention every time. I like the way this album opens, and I just like the way it flows up until like Rock Your Body-ish, and then it kind of. I agree with Matt also, but Senorita, What You Got, Like I Love You, all three of those fire. Take It From Here. I just love listening to. If I to give some credit to like the later half of the thing, I do like Last Night and I do like Take Me Now for some reason. I just like the way it sounds, but I would say my favorite ones are Senorita, What You Got, and I'll give it to Last Night for the third one.
Real.
One from like each kind of quarter.
Last Night's Supremacy.
Yeah.
One.
I go a little bit into mine because mine is like very similar. I like Senorita. So like thinking about Senorita because I like that song as I was younger, but like I really like as an intro, but like I kind of cut it off when it gets to that whole like, now fellas, you're gonna say like I hate, oh my god, bro. Ever since I was like, ever since I was like 12 years old, bro, I hated that part. It's like, ladies go, I hate that, but like it just kills the whole song, bro.
Part you didn't
That part is, no, I agree because
Yeah, it killed the whole vibe. It's such a good song.
I think the best part of that is like the post chorus, like where the chord comes in after the
Yeah.
I think that's the best part.
Like if you just could just edit out that part, bro, because what the hell was that? Some Kids Bop ass like
Well, the thing is like
put your hands in the air.
I'm so happy you said that because I felt like
You gotta give me.
I'm so happy you said that, bro.
It's good, bro.
I love that part, and Justin Timberlake's ad libs generally, like you just did it so good, Adam.
Yo, that guy.
Hey, nice.
Yo, I hate that part so so much.
It's cool, bro.
It's cool, man.
Nah, man.
It was
Nah, I'm a grown man.
It was 2002 when this came out.
Pharrell's one of the guys that did it, and I think also one of the girls. Like they
Yeah.
kind of did like a little bit of both.
That's my Pharrell idea. I'm not gonna lie. Some shit Pharrell would do.
I love
Hey,
the, like,
that part was like probably heavily Pharrell influenced.
Absolutely.
so Pharrell.
Absolutely. I
And-
love that
and
you could just hear Pharrell. Like, you just hear a beat. I don't know if it was like that in 2002, but like,
No,
I
so like,
could just
yeah.
tell it's Pharrell. Like,
Yeah, you
as
could-
soon as I hear it.
Facts.
Even back then, you could hear a Pharrell beat. And you're like, that's
Same thing
Pharrell.
with Timberland, to be honest.
Yeah, Timberland.
This era.
Facts.
Timberland, and I was gonna talk about that because like, oh no, what you got also felt like should have been a single, and that sounds so different compared to like the previous two Neptune songs because it comes in and has that like whistle melody, which I think is like fire. I like the also like the Middle Eastern kind of like influences they gotta have on the production.
Yo, Timberland loved that
Yeah,
sound.
yeah, Timberland loves that shit ever since like Missy Elliott times and everything, and like it just sounds like a song we use in the club, you just like dancing with somebody and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like in the 2000s, that's what it really sounds like. So I wish that was a single. I like Take It From Here a lot. Like it's so string heavy. It's beautiful. Honestly, like the first, like honest to God, like 6 songs. So like Senorita to Rock Your Body, I like don't dislike a single song. I love clips on Like I Love You. And I really like the drums on that. I like the fact that there's live drums and they go inside that crazy drum break at the end. That's probably like the song that listening to it as an adult made me appreciate more. Because I just didn't really think that much of it before. But like as an adult, I'm like, yo, they going crazy in the drums. Like, so I'd probably say if I had to pick like a top 3, it would have to be like I Love You. Rock Your Body, of course, that's like one of my favorites. So I love that song.
Top 3.
And like probably Take It From Here. And Cry Me a River, like right after that. But after Rock Your Body, I just like don't like a single song. Like I'm not gonna say I hate every song, because some of them are cool. Like Last Night's cool. Right For Me is like he's just trying, you know what I'm saying? But it's like I don't like any song.
I actually really love that song. I know y'all been shitting on it the whole time, but that shit.
Oh man, I hate every song, bro. Not a song.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm
I
sorry.
would say
That shit is beautiful.
But the first half, amazing.
I think I love the way that when you literally turn on the song Nothing Else, it immediately sounds like a Stevie song. Like,
You see, bro.
da, 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 da. Like, da, 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 da. It's so Stevie, and I love that.
I think it sounds like Ordinary Pain a little bit. You hear that, right?
It's definitely very Stevie. It's very
It's
Stevie.
It's the chord. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really know. I wouldn't be able to tell you what it is, but I could definitely see that vibe, which I think is really good. I really like this time, like after like the second week of listening to it, I was on the airplane for like 4 hours and a lot of my downloaded music for whatever reason wasn't playing, but this album was. I feel like God was just like, girl, listen to the damn album. And I locked in because I just listened to it on repeat for like 3 hours. And I really started to like Let's Take a Ride. Like that, the way that song opens is so good. Like what? That's so good. I mean, the theme? I wish it was like a 2-minute song.
It's just too repetitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't evolve enough. Like that's my problem with all the songs.
13 tracks and it's over an hour. It's like just over an hour, but it's over an hour. I'm like, this could have been 45 minutes. But again, this is like the spoiled 2026 ear versus like what people were seeking to accomplish in this time. But I definitely love Cry Me a River. Senorita is like one of my favorite songs. I would say in this order, Senorita, Cry Me a River, Rock Your Body, and Let's Ride. I love Rock Your Body. It's so Michael Jackson coded. I could see how they would have
I love that, man.
Nah, I do wish they gave it to him. I think it would have been like he would have done something crazy with it.
Just to quote Pharrell, I just know that Michael Jackson was just like, I don't know what it is. Figure it out. I don't want it.
Great song.
Like, I don't. He's like, yo, I already did that. I don't want to keep doing that.
That's
like,
fair.
And but those are my favorites. So.
I love the beatbox at the end of like Rock Your Body too. They're just like
I actually hate that shit.
It's so annoying.
But did you say you like the Senorita thing? But no, you didn't, right?
I did. I
Okay, all right.
Go, come on, man.
That's way cooler than like, hey, ladies.
You ever seen the video of it too, where he explains
Yeah.
that shit?
Yeah, I love the video.
Annoying, man.
I love that. It's such a 2000s video. Used to get like giant
guys-
neon boxes and just dance.
If you guys want to watch that, it's like a 22 minute like documentary.
Yo,
about
send
the
that
album.
because I want to see that.
My bad. I should have sent it to you guys, but yeah, it's good. It shows how like their studio had like a tin roof, so if it was raining, it would be really loud, and they couldn't record. So that's what they started doing. A lot of the like Chad was playing the chords on guitar for songs like I think it's like I Love You, and all those other songs. It was pretty cool.
Pharrell's wearing that NERD hat, wasn't he? The yellow one. Yep.
Yeah,
of
the
course.
sucker joint.
Mad cool.
Yep. I used to have that shit and I give it away.
Yeah.
Sound sad about it.
Flo, you had any stand? Did you share your stand?
Yeah, nah. Top 3 for me. I don't have like a specific order, but I probably go Like I Love You, Senorita. Damn, number 3. I'll probably go Rock Your Body for number 3.
Okay.
But it's just like tracks 1 through 6. There's no misses, and then after that, I know there was some hate, but I like songs like Still on My Brain. I think I'm the only person that mentioned that joint, and I thought that was a good song. Like I
really
think
good.
that is, yeah. I don't think that it's like whack or nothing like that. Like I think it's a solid joint. I actually don't really enjoy nothing else because it sounded so much like Stevie. I was just like, this is just like a bite
Yo,
off Stevie.
and I think it was sequenced not in the best way because Rocket Body is just like a high, and then it just comes and it's
Yeah,
like
the transition wasn't the
I was
greatest.
like, yo, what the hell is this? I think that's why I don't like it as much because it's
Yeah.
like it just kind of kills the vibe a little bit after Rock Your Body.
Yeah. But Last Night is good too. I like Last Night a lot also.
Thank you for mentioning Still on My Brain. That song is actually really good, and I sing it a lot in my head.
Yeah, it is a good song. So that's why, like, overall, I feel like the album is what, 13 songs, 14 songs, something like that.
Yeah, 13.
And that's, for me, I enjoy 8 out of the 13 songs. Like, that's a great album in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I agree with that. I just my biggest critique of this album is it should have been arranged a little bit different. Like the
Yeah.
track list is.
Yo, I'm
I
not
can
gonna lie,
see
if you take those 6 first songs, right, and spaced them out in between like some of the whack ones,
Yeah.
it would have been like a better flowing album because you would have had like a little bit of a breakup. Because it's just like it feels like it was like he had the singles planned out, and it was like this is gonna be the single section. I think I have nothing to look forward to in the second half. There's no singles there, and those probably weren't like as built out. So I feel like that's
but
probably
the
a
thing
sequencing
is,
thing.
those 6 songs kind of go well in the order that they do.
Yeah.
So that's probably what, he's like, all right, I'm cashing in on the singles, but they also flow well together,
Yeah.
And
For the listener.
to your point, Matt, I mean, like popular 2000s albums, like were like a hit or miss, like because you had like people that would just like have like 22 track albums. They had skits in it, and it'd be like
Looking at you, Kanye.
mainstream artists, and then they don't have no vision at all. For his debut album, for him to only, in my opinion, have 2 skips, I think he did. I think he did well for himself, and
He did a really good
and
Yeah.
I do hear what y'all was saying though, but like I do agree with Adam where like I think back in those times like the retention of just like 9 straight bangers like was enough for people to say, oh, this man's great, because back in those days it was hard to find like an album that had no skips, especially in that era, especially in like R&B in that time. You had some of the greats like Music Soul Child. He has tons of skips on his shit, man. Like all those guys, like that's why they're not as like regarded in current times like a Frank Ocean, because Frank, like back when Matt was saying, the 2010s, they kind of honed in on like making like bodies of work versus like the labels telling them, oh, you need this song for this, you need this song for that. I think that was a product of this, but I think he executed it a lot better than his contemporaries did. I think him and Usher, that's why they were like neck and neck, because they mastered the art of like giving you like these singles that are like generational like bangers almost, and then they sequence these albums very well. But I think like Confessions was like, okay, this guy's like I see what this kid is doing, So I have to make confessions, and then I think Justin and his team seen what they were doing, and that's why they upped the ante with Future Sex Love Sounds. So I felt like those two had a little cold war, and they were like kind of like an anomaly versus the other R&B artists who would just like put mad songs on there and not have a direction. So I think all that to say, like, I feel like he was an example of you could do that, but you could also make it work in your favor if you can. And that's why I think that's why it's good that it's only 13 songs. And I think
And
that's why it
6
gets a
weeks
lot of,
is crazy.
Yeah, that's my biggest
6
thing.
weeks, that
If
shit
he
is
like,
crazy.
yeah, if it took more time, I think that the second half has a lot of like potential for me.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people enjoy it more than I do. I think if he just like spent more time on those as opposed to like I'm just gonna do this in 6 weeks and see if I can make an album in 6 weeks. I feel like that sounds novel, but it doesn't like make for like the best music. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good. Like if he like sat with some of those songs and built them out as much as he built out the singles, because clearly the singles like he went in with a game plan. He probably could have made like a full masterpiece front to back. You know what I'm saying? That's why most artists don't make albums in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Because it's like you need time to like stew on it and think about it and be like, I'm not feeling that no more. I'm gonna go back and change it and everything like that. Like you need time to do that because like you might not feel a song no more. It's like some of the best artists who have like these incredible bodies of work, like Kanye, one of the greatest discographies of any artist ever, used to like go back. Now I don't want that no more. Now I'm gonna go change that. I'm gonna save that for another album. I'll use that like 10 years down the line or something like that. Michael Jackson. You know, if he has like 50 songs recorded for Bad, I'm gonna knock this down. Now I don't like this song no more. I'm gonna take it off. You know what I'm saying? You kind of have to do that and like stew on it a little bit more.
And I think the only reason why he wasn't able to do it on this is because I think the labels was like, yo, like you gotta listen to us. Like Ye was an anomaly where he's like, I don't give a fuck what y'all say. One, I'm gonna leak this shit, and then eventually like y'all gonna have to come to terms that I'm him. So I think he's just an anomaly of that where Justin had to kind of fall in line and was like, listen, we really want to transition you to be this R&B artist, this R&B singer. And the only way you could do that is you have to have these B-sides on here. We could put Rock Your Body, Cry Me a River, See You Read, all that. But we really want to change your image, and that's the only way we can do that is to give you these slow-ass ballads. And then finally, that icing on the cake is the Brian McKnight ballad.
So I hate that.
Yo, we need you to understand, like, you are R&B artist, damn it. Like, whereas, like, if he had creative control, and I think he did further down the line with Future Sex and everything, the fat would have been trimmed to like maybe 9 songs to go up to the point like Michael when he had the creative control. Like that's why Bad and Thriller were like 9 and 10 songs because they're like we don't need all these songs. I know. You know?
I think this is also just the label taking a chance on him, right? Because he's coming off of NSYNC, and they're like, let's see if this works. Yeah. And like let's try to make this happen this way. But if it doesn't, then we're not gonna invest too much into it.
Yeah.
I feel like that probably played a role in it too. I don't know how much creative freedom he had, but he definitely had a chip on his shoulder. It's like if you're breaking out of this massive boy band, you want to prove yourself, and you want to
He definitely had to control it because I'm sure if it's up to the label by themselves, they make him just do an NSYNC album just by himself because he's like the front man. I'm sure he was like, you know, he wanted to do as y'all was saying, the R&B thing. He had like some soul influences there. He had like Senorita, which had like some kind of Spanish influences and stuff. He's working with like hip hop producers, so I'm sure he had some input, but they probably just like had more direction in terms of like, you know, how you're gonna put the album out and stuff. Because like back when people didn't care about albums as much.
That's the main thing.
You buy an album because you like 4 songs. You didn't buy an album because you want to go listen to like a whole. It's different now where you go into an album, you want to hear like an intro and outro, like a well sequenced body of work. Back then it's like I like 3 songs. I'm gonna buy the whole $20 album because I like these 3 songs.
Fact.
This was like the CD player era, so you can burn a CD.
Yeah.
There's only so many things you can fit into the
Like
CD.
the illegal digital download stuff was like just happening.
Yeah.
So like you're right. I mean, some people are like singles. They buy a whole album, turn up.
Bro, I did that, bro. I bought no funny.
Man, you gonna buy the whole album?
Y'all gonna judge me, bro. One of the first hip hop albums I ever bought wasn't even 50 Cent. It was Chingy, bro. I bought a Chingy album, bro.
Period.
I like 2 songs off the Chingy album. Now 50 Cent was like my favorite dude and Jay-Z, but I couldn't find their albums nowhere. So I bought a Chingy album. It was like 2 songs. It wasn't
Mine
that
was
bad.
Ja Rule, so
Yeah, like
I bought the Ja Rule album too.
I like a couple songs. It's like
it was Ja Rule 50. It was Ja
Where
Rule.
is Jaw?
Okay, I think that you guys added a lot of really good perspective to like how that. I think that says a lot. It's really important to contextualize how album was received, how when it came out, how it was thought to be received, right? What the intentions were, because while there's a lot of like JT's soul in this album, there's also a lot of strategy in this album. Of course, there's a lot that's like unknown to us, but just from the naked eye, like we see definitely the genre shift, the track list, like how those singles were put out, the folks that are working on this album, I could guess a little bit about what his budget looked like by way of his features and basically.
Bubba Sparks.
Yo, bro, come on. He didn't deserve it. He didn't need to be on that shit, man.
I will say, like, I think this was a short and sweet album, and I feel like we could definitely just get around to asking ourselves, like, what the replay value of this album is and, like, what we would rate it, you know? So, what do you guys think about that? I think I'm going to answer first, and you guys can sit on that. But I will say the replay value on this is definitely like a 6 out of 10.
Like medium. Like medium replay value.
Yeah, like I probably won't be touching this album fully through ever again.
Damn.
Period. Now,
hear this shit again.
however, this listen definitely added some songs from this album to my regular like rotations. Like I'll definitely be listening to a lot more of the songs on this album again, but I actually don't think I ever want to hear this. I started playing this album on shuffle very quickly, by the way, because I hated their way of structuring this album.
Tell you the sequence, man.
Yeah.
Shuffle was going crazy.
That's why they created shuffle back then, because they were like, you can just play the album how you want to play it. Don't give a fuck.
Period. And so my rating for this album, I think I'll give this album a solid 7 out of 10.
Yo, that's crazy because that's the lowest you've ever rated an album, I feel like, and it's your album.
And it's yours.
Man, she's like, who picked this? It was a chore. She didn't want to hear it no more. She was bored of it. She's like, who picked this thing?
More evidence that this.
Because individually there are songs on here that I'm 10 out of 10 songs, period. But just the album as a whole, I feel like it was just a stepping stool for Justin Timberlake, and he went on to murder shit. But I think that this is an album that should definitely be included in any album review because it's not only Justin Timberlake, but it's the Neptunes and how they were creating their whole sound and just like completely breaking R&B and making it something like other, you know, and I love that. So
More evidence that this club only likes sophomore albums.
Yo, if you pick Future Sex Love Sounds, I would have went crazy.
After his sophomore album, after talking about this freshman album, so I get it.
I could probably go into my replay value and then strongest, weakest aspects and then rating stuff. Like in terms of like replay value, I'm with Joelle. I'm probably like never gonna hear this again. As an album, like the singles, like I love the singles. You know what I'm saying? Like to Adam's point, I have some of these in my regular rotation. So like, but I'm never gonna be like, yo, throwing Justified. Like as opposed to his other albums, like Future Sex Love Sounds, I adore that album. But this one, nah. And like just as I was saying earlier, it has like really good singles. Has a really good first half. It has like I could see like despite all the criticisms that we're all levying against it, I think it does a good showcase of what he can do as an artist. Because you don't have to have a great masterpiece of body work to show what you could do. Because some people try to do a little bit of everything and then it sucks. He showed at least like it's like it's not the best album, but like he shows he can sing, shows he knows how to like he has a really good keen eye for production. He knows how to like diversify a little bit. So I think it's a really good like showcase of his abilities. But I think it's just weak in terms of the way it was sequenced and like it's not that the songwriting isn't that good. It's very 2000s. I'm trying to make a club hit kind of like energy. In terms of overall rating, I'm probably gonna give it like a 6. Only because like I really love the first half. I don't really like too much on the second half. Besides like I like a little bit of Last Night, but like I like about half the album. But the rest of the album isn't like awful, unlistenable, none of that. It's just like I think it's like a solid, like it's a middle of the road. Like 6 for me is like you're about middle of the road. I like half the songs pretty much. So those my thoughts on it.
I'm there with Joelle as per usual. I give it a 7 as well. I am happy to be moving on from this chapter of my life.
Goodness Christ.
Nah,
Justin.
it's not that.
Yo, Justin.
All albums get reviewed. This is the one that gets.
Let me finish. What this did do was I'm gonna go back to Future Sex next because I was playing it last night and that album is very good. I do like Justin Timberlake. I've seen him live and honestly he's a great performer. He can sing and all that.
What tour did you see him on?
2019. I don't even know what the tour was.
Oh, so that's probably.
Man of the Woods.
Man of the Woods. I won.
Was that Man of the Woods? Oh man, that album sucks.
No, it doesn't, and that's where I was.
But-
bring up
It's not a
earlier.
bad
It's
album.
not a bad
Album
album.
sucks.
I won free tickets, so I had free floor seats to it, and it was honestly
Sure, he's a great performer though.
dope. He's a great performer. It was his birthday, so I think he went kind of all out for it. But yeah, I give it a 7. Replay.
That was not a bad score.
No, it's not at all.
Yeah.
I like the album, and like you said, most of the songs are good. It's just the second half just loses me. Replay value as singles, Crimea River. Just I don't skip Crimea River if it comes on. To be honest with you, Senorita, I play that at the gym. It's a good like hype song.
Yeah.
I love like the Pharrell intro. Yeah, so I think I'd give it like a medium replay value to the songs itself. I'm not listening to the whole album again for a while.
Harley, I love how in sync we are also.
Average.
Ever.
Yo,
Always.
tell you, in sync, man.
Oh my god, I just
What?
got it.
Oh,
The
you
in-
just got that?
I didn't do it on
I've
purpose.
been making them jokes all day. She didn't get it.
That's crazy.
Damn. Okay. Well, let me break this up a little bit because I feel like, yeah.
Please.
I don't like the negativity on this album. There are plenty of albums we reviewed and motherfuckers ain't good at. But listen, this album is really good. Okay, I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. These B-sides are fucking like art, man. This is good R&B music. So for me, because I literally only have 2 skips. It's a solid 8.5 to me. And I'm bold enough to give it a 9 personally. All right.
Give me a 9.
I can't hear that. There we go. Thank you, baby. Now listen. I'm everybody.
What was that?
Yo, I can't give it a 9. Damn.
You know, it's your review.
Yes, it is a 9 because I literally can't skip. I only have 2 skips. I do like the Brian McKnight like doppelganger dupe song. I don't mind it. The only 2 songs I don't like are like Right Here and the other one above that. I forgot the name of that one. But again, I think for what he was battling against, what he was trying to execute, his contemporaries at the time, I do think he might made that transition like flawlessly, and I do think that the production from both Timbaland and the Neptunes helped that out. Mm-hmm. So sonically, this shit takes that to a whole nother level. This does not sound like anything else that nobody else was coming out with. And the year that they had that camp, 2002, with fucking Lord Willin, In Search Of, the shit Khalees was doing, like this, like they was on one on this, and I think this was their victory lap. So I love the sounds of this album. I love the vocals, obviously the hits are the hits, but the B-sides are different. So in my opinion, it's an 8.5. 9, will I replay this album? You're damn right I replay this album. Come on, y'all crazy.
I think it definitely.
So it's like almost a masterpiece to you, essentially.
Yeah, bro. I always said this was like my favorite album of his.
Really?
Personally, yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
What, Future Sex
Y'all
Love
not
Song?
gonna like what I have to say about this.
Over the 2020
Yeah.
experience?
Oh, hell yeah. What?
Have you heard Future Sex Love Sounds?
God.
I hear it every year.
I think.
I'll tell you something about the future. Okay, here's my problem with Future Sex Love Sounds.
Blue Ocean,
Wait.
Florida, and
Let me tell
Mirror.
you something about Future Sex Love Sounds. I think Future Sex Love Sounds has the inverse problem where the hits are better than the B-side. The B-sides kind of suck, bro, on
I
Future Sex
agree.
Love Sounds. They're not as good.
I agree.
I think the hits are just like so high that the B-sides are so boring or like they shouldn't even
I
be
agree.
there.
I agree.
And that's my problem with that album. I don't think that album, like, I think it's a great album. I think it's like one of the best albums of the 2000s, solely because, like Matt said, the transitions and everything. But like, if you strip that, if you like really hone in on the album, the B-sides are kind of like out of place. So I
Yeah.
don't think he ever got the like I have to lock in to make like a whole like.
Oh no, he never had like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna make a body.
I
of
think
work.
he suffers from the same problem of bloating
agree.
albums, and that is the problem with that album. And I think that again, the R&B songs on this one are just as good as like Until the End of Time. Like that's what I love that Justin Timberlake bag where he's like in
Whoa.
that shit.
Oh
Matt.
man.
What's that face? That's an incredible song.
Incredible song.
Oh, Come on now.
Wait. You said what song's better than that?
No, I said those songs, the R&B songs on this, like take it from here on the same level as that. Like,
Oh, no, I don't think they're on the same level. That's why I made that's why I made that face. I don't think
Karaoke, bro. What's good?
I'm not trying to make a hot take. I think if you take the highest high of this album, doesn't match the highs of Future Sex Love Sounds like at all.
I agree with that, but that's what I'm saying. Is
I don't think they're like even neck and neck.
I agree.
That's
I think
me.
the highs are higher on that, but I think they suffer from both the same problem. That's why, like,
I agree.
I like this a lot more because it has more R&B songs that are more palatable, and you can just listen to them and throw them on at any time. Whereas, like, the R&B songs on that, aside from the singles, aren't really that hard hitting. So, yeah,
So
that's all I have to say.
Did you get to give us a rating?
Nah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it
I
right
gave
now.
it 8.5. Oh, you said Adam. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Nah, I'm gonna give this definitely an 8, probably 8.5. Cause it's just this. I agree with Paris. Yo, this album is tough. It's one of the best selling albums in the 21st century. First off, so we not crazy for liking this album. It's just the highs are so high for me. Like Senorita, Like I Love You, Rock Your Body, Crimea River, like those four. Like, yes, we hear them all the time. We heard them so much, but like, you play those anytime, anywhere, any place, and the vibe is up. Like, it's lit. You know what I mean? Like, it's nobody's gonna be like, yo, turn that off. Nobody, not a soul.
Harley is.
Well, maybe all, but it's just like, but even to the point of like, take it from here, Last Night, Still on My Brain. Like, those are still like good songs that I still really enjoy. You know what I mean? And I feel like if I like the majority of an album, that it has to be a good album. And the highs for me are really high. Like
That maths.
The math.
you know what I mean? Like when I hear Senorita, I'm vibing. When I hear Like I Love You, like I'm vibing. And it's just like every little bit of it. And the production, again, agreeing with Paris on that. Like it's just solid across the board for the most part for me. So yeah, that's definitely how I feel. Will I listen to it again? Yeah, I can guarantee I'll listen to it again. Because especially after this conversation, I feel like now I need to go back and listen to Future Sex and then 2020 Part 1.
Who's picking the next album?
That'll be Adam. All right.
I don't have an album right now.
All right, so the next album is to be continued. It'll be a little mysterious. And thanks so much. I really enjoyed listening to Justified with you all, and that was a lot of fun.